go ahead and start the recording. So we'll go ahead and get the recording going. And yeah, thanks again for joining us today. We're very excited to just talk a little bit more about the destination of Turks and Caicos and amazing things you can do and send your clients to do here as they head off to this beautiful paradise. And today, if you stick around till the end, we'll be giving out a $200 gift card. So to one lucky winner. So stick around with us. We appreciate your patience here as we kind of go through everything. And we'll just start with a quick introduction of our two wonderful guest speakers. First, we have Peter de Jong, owner of Grand Slam Fishing Charters. And we have the lovely Stacy Cox, CEO of Turks and Caicos Hotel and Tourism Association. So we're very excited to have them on today. Peter, do you want to give a quick intro first? We'll start with you.
Sure. I'm a Canadian, and about 25 years ago, I started going down to Turks and Caicos, the island of Providenciales. And as I got closer to retirement age, I was planning to spend more time on the island, and so I thought I needed something to keep me busy. So back in 2017, I bought the business Grand Slam Charters from the previous owner, and I've been loving this business. I love the islands. I've been going down there regularly, and the people and everybody is just fantastic. So yeah, welcome to this webinar, and hope you learned something from us.
Wonderful. Stacy, I'm not sure if you're on mute. You may have to unmute yourself if you are. But if you'd like to give an introduction to yourself, fantastic.
Sure. Thanks, Cassie. Thanks, Peter, for having me. To those visiting on this virtual call, welcome to Turks and Caicos. I am Stacy Cox, CEO for the Turks and Caicos Hotel and Tourism Association, sitting in this position for almost 15 years, previously a general manager at several of the properties here. And I look forward to your questions and interactions today. Thank you.
Perfect. So we're just going to talk a little bit about why Turks and Caicos, out of the 190 plus countries you can send your clients to, why this one in particular. And I think obviously the beaches is definitely one of the reasons, and one of the biggest selling features, along with the wonderful hospitality. And what brings, 2 million travelers on average per year as of 2024 to Turks and Caicos. Now this number here reflects both the cruise ship travelers and those who travel by plane. So this does include Grand Turk as well. But today we really want to focus in on Providenciales, and I'll let Stacy kind of talk about how we're going to get your clients here and how easy it is to get here.
Excellent. Thank you, Cassie. Well, the Turks and Caicos Islands is an archipelago of islands with 40 islands and keys. We have an average temperature of about 82 degrees Fahrenheit, Peter, and not Celsius. Although we're British overseas territory, the currency that's used on island is the US dollars. Again, British territory, we are self-governing, and a passport is required to enter these beautiful islands. But once you enter the island at the main port of Providenciales, using the various aircraft carriers from United, Delta, JetBlue, American, also we have British Airways coming in, and we host one of the largest regional carrier in the Caribbean, Inter-Caribbean. So you can island hop to Turks and Caicos using Inter-Caribbean from many of the Eastern and Northern Caribbean islands. And once you get here, there's multiple destinations to explore within Turks and Caicos, from North Caicos, Middle Caicos, Grand Turk, and Providenciales being the tourism mecca of the Turks and Caicos Islands, where Grand Turk resides. You want me to go on, Cassie?
Yes, you're doing a great job and just kind of highlighting where the Providenciales spotlight.
Excellent. So English is spoken on the island, although the beauty of Turks and Caicos is that the last census told us that we had 91 nationalities living here. So once people have booked their accommodation and their flights and book Grand Slam for their various fishing charters, they look at restaurants. And because of the multicultural destination that we are, every type of cuisine that you would consider is here in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yes, including the beautiful
That's
Grace Bay
fantastic.
Beach.
Yes,
Fantastic.
including the beautiful Grace Bay Beach that has won many worldwide resort awards. And not just us saying it, but the consumers say it a lot that we're the number one beach in the world. And I never get tired of doing it. I actually walk the beach just about every morning. In Providenciales as well, just going back to that just a little bit, you would find again that it is the hotel Mecca. We have about 3,500 rooms in the inventory. And in the next 3 years, we're expected to double that to another 3,000 rooms with the onset of the St. Regis, Kempinski, Andaz, and several of the IHG properties coming to the island. So if you don't book your clients now on Grand Slam, I can tell you that it's going to be overwhelmingly busy for that tour, for this tour operator.
Wonderful. And speaking of tour operator, Peter, did you want to kind of give some ideas of other things, all the things to do in the area for their clients who may not know?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Cassie. And while Grand Slam Charters primarily does boat excursions, fishing, deep bottom fishing, deep sea fishing, snorkeling, sunset cruises, whale watching, and snorkeling cruises. I mean, and we can do combination trips. There's so many other things to do on the island. The first things you're going to do is, first off, Grace Bay Beach is only 10-minute drive from the airport. It's so safe, and it's quick and easy onto the beach. 4-hour flight, landing in Provo, and then a 10-minute drive. You're on the beach by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon usually. And there's so many other things to do other than fishing. But I truly believe, I've been going down there for 25 years. The first couple of days I like to relax on the beach, and then the first thing I want to do is get out on the water, whether it's with a cruise or a snorkeling trip or even some fishing. There's nothing like seeing Turks and Caicos from the water. The water is just an absolute magical. It's just magical on the senses.
Yeah, and like Peter was mentioning earlier about, it's so quick just to get around the island, and from the airport, they're not spending 2 hours like going to Ocho Rios, Jamaica. You land in Montego Bay, you've got a, 2.5 hour ride to your hotel. This is, within minutes, you're in the hotel, you're checking in, and who knows, you can even book a sunset cruise, in the evening as well. That same day they fly in, which is amazing. So lots of time to kind of capitalize on that. And then Peter, do you want to talk about this unique kind of other kind of cruise that you guys offer? You offer so many different private charter experiences.
Yeah, and that's what we specialize on is strictly private charters. We don't do group charters, so it's just you and your group, your family. It can be, the pricing is set for the whole boat, so it's not priced per person. So it may be overwhelming for some people, but for most people, they find that because it's their own private group, they find it much more enjoyable. And going back to the sunset cruises for a second, you could be on the beach for a couple hours, and then if you booked it online, you could actually we'll come and pick you up around 5 or 6 o'clock, take you out for a nice sunset cruise, enjoy some wine, charcuterie board, and things like that. But yeah, we do offer whale watching excursions as well in the spring from about mid-January on to about April. That's when the large humpback whales are coming down. They come down from Newfoundland all the way down to Dominican Republic, they calve, and then on the way back, they tend to come to the north shore of Providenciales along Grace Bay and North Caicos. Water's nice and shallow, where they teach the young calves how to dive down and get their food supply. So it's just although we keep a decent distance away from the animals, I mean, you can get in the water and snorkel, but and watch them actually underwater. There's some groups that do that, and it's just amazing.
Wonderful. And I think you were saying that you have the third best barrier reef in the world, right? following, I
That
think,
is
Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and then the Mesoamerican one, and then you've got this one here, which
true.
is
You're
fantastic.
absolutely correct. It's the world's third largest barrier reef, so it's just teeming with fish, parrotfish, you name it, snapper. And that's what makes it such a great location to go fishing. That's bottom fishing, and but more for snorkeling along the reef. It's absolutely family friendly. Um, in season from August 1st to the end of April, end of March, you can do lobster diving where we can catch some lobster for you. Um, and there's just you can do a half day, 3/4 day, full day trips. And actually, on 3/4 and full day trips, you can combine snorkeling with bottom fishing. So you can do some fishing for a while and then go snorkeling. We do a great lunch on the beach or on board, barbecue chicken, barbecue fish, you name it. We can provide it to you.
Great. So I love that you can combine the snorkeling, the bottom fishing. These are really good options for, like he mentioned, family friendly. So for those who maybe are beginner fishers, this is a really good
Absolutely.
option for them if they
Yeah,
don't want all that action pack right away. But they do offer that as well. So deep sea
absolutely.
fishing for sure.
Yeah, bottom fishing is the yeah, it's bottom fishing in particular. Okay, it's
Mhm.
much more actively. You're holding the rod all the time, and it's more active. It's better for younger anglers where that are new to fishing, and it's great for families where dads can show their kids how to fish. And you're catching a lot of fish on these bottom fishing excursions. Red snapper, barracuda, grouper, you name it. We've got a lot of fish there, and captains will love to clean it for you folks and fillet it for you. And so it's a little bit different than deep sea fishing, because deep sea fishing you need a little bit more patience. It's we're dropping the lines in the water, and we're actually just trolling. So you're actually just sitting there until there's a bite, and then the mate will hand the rod off to you. So it requires more patience, and it's more for experienced anglers, I would say. But we do go deeper out, but we can catch some really big monsters out there. So we get some massive yellow tuna, wahoo, and mahi mahi at that time of the year. So they're just beautiful eating fish. Um, but yeah, it's just a great experience out there on the water.
Wonderful. And what is the biggest fish anyone's ever caught doing deep sea? Because I saw on Facebook, they have a great Facebook account where they'll post every Thursday a Troller Thursday photo where they'll show like their guests with their catch, which is kind of fun. So you
Yeah,
should definitely follow them on Facebook if you're not yet. What would you say is the biggest like weight that anyone's ever caught?
think ours we actually are one of our older boats that we retired, the Gwendolyn. We actually held the Caribbean weight class for wahoo. I believe it was 172 pounds, I believe.
Oh,
So, but
wow.
interesting enough, our one of our captains last December, he was out fishing just on his own. This is what our captains do on their time off. They go out fishing and trying to find new spots. He caught a swordfish of 642 pounds, I believe it was. Just
Oh,
an absolutely
wow.
creature.
Yeah, so these are definitely the prized catch photos that people definitely want to brag on social media that they've, caught this prize fish. So definitely very cool experience for the deep sea fishing. They also offer
Yeah.
some island hopping. So maybe your clients want to get off of Providenciales if they're staying a full week, get some different scenery. You want to talk about the different island hopping?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got some great excursions on aboard Serendipity, which is one of our newer boats. It can accommodate up to 10 people when we do just snorkeling and cruising trips. And we can take people out to West Caicos for an adventure tour. There's cliff jumping there. There's private coves. There's a cove where one of the where pirates and Bonnie and her partner would back their boat in and actually wait for British and Spanish vessels to go by before they attacked. And it's really an interesting spot. That's where all the sizzle production was in the 1800s and the 1700s, I believe, going way back. And they actually built a rail line down the center of the island. It's just amazing to see. We also take people out to Half Moon Bay for what we call a Robinson Crusoe Island Hideaway beach tour. We'll bring you out there, private beach. It's just wonderful. And the other locations, North and Middle Caicos tour. We bring you over to North and Middle Caicos. We set you up in a private van, and we'll drive you around the islands, showing you all the various highlights. Wade's, the historic Wade's Plantation, the Indian Caves where the Lucayan Indians stayed, Mujin Harbor, and Bambara Beach, which is absolutely gorgeous. Just an absolutely gorgeous spot. So we've got a lot of little islands and keys that we can bring you to. Sand Dollar Point, I noticed somebody asked a question about that. There's spots that we can bring you there. And there's a little what we call the sandbar. When the tide goes down, there's a little sandbar island that we bring you to. And it's just, yeah, it's a wonderful little spot.
Perfect. That's just wonderful. And then one of the other like less little tours that they also offer, which is really cool, is the Pirate Cave tour. So
Yeah. So, talked about that earlier on where the pirate ships would back in, but there's actually a cave on the southwest point of Providenciales where you can climb into, and there's actual carvings in the rock of various sailors and pirates that were shipwrecked there many years ago. And there's a it's really interesting to see those and the dates and the names of the individuals that carved their names into the rock. So it's quite an experience where we cruise out onto the south bank of the island, on the south side of the island, for snorkeling. We explore that cave, and the mate will show you the trails above, and then on top there's a rock that has split off from the main island. We call it Split Rock, and there's a massive osprey nest at the top, and where this osprey guards her nest and her little ones.
wonderful.
And along the way, we stop and see that shipwreck. Actually, that's an old Russian ship that would supply other ships. Back in, Stacy, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Hurricane Dorian or Dora that blew that ship. It actually was anchored off a different part of the island. The hurricane
That's correct.
just dragged it over there and set it up perfectly upright right there. It's about and it's in about 6 feet of water. And a lot of people climb aboard and jump off of it, which is a fun experience, but I wouldn't recommend that myself personally because it's pretty rusted out. But it's a lot of fun to just go out and check. It's a lovely, and that's part of the excursion there. So yeah.
Perfect. And, of course, water tours are what, is one of the biggest selling points of going to Turks and Caicos. But, they also have some great land sports too. I know Stacy's very familiar with the options here, whether it's ATVing, golfing. She talks really highly of this particular golf club, the Royal Turks and Caicos Golf Club.
Yes, it's the only golf course on the island, and known for having lots of celebrity tournaments and fundraisers for community initiatives. So if you have clients wishing to do both excursions on the water and golfing, those are things that are readily available to you on island.
Perfect. So they don't have to go to Cabo and the other destinations that I think are more popular for golf, because they've got them here as well. So definitely keep Turks and Caicos in mind for those golfing clients. And then some recurring events. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, Cassie. In March, we have the annual Wine Cellar Golf and Fishing Tournament, which we actively participate in every year, which is a fantastic initiative. We raise over $200,000 for the event raises for over $200,000 for local charities, and it's just it's really great to see the money raised and going to these very needy charities that we have on the island, and to support our local economy and local people. And so it's just all the fishing charter companies and a lot of private boats come down to the island, and we have this great tournament. And there's a great prize for the Grand Slam. Of course, being Grand Slam charters, we're always shooting for the Grand Slam, which is a catching 3 different fish, the mahi, the wahoo, and the tuna, all on the same day. And there's some just really great prizes. But the Grand Slam is definitely catching all 3 different types of fish.
Correct. And Stacy, can you speak to some other events that the clients may see, whether it's weekly, annual, just, it's always fun to go there for a specific purpose, see something
Sure.
specific there.
Thank you so much for that, Cassie. The Turks and Caicos has many family safe initiatives, from the weekly fish fry every Thursday night to the annual event, Mass Canoe, that's held on December 26th. In addition to that, to Peter's point, there are a number of charity events that happen throughout the island, whether it's golf tournament or in the pink that service the local cancer society, or our Little Chefs program that has an annual fundraiser, Taste of Tapas, that prepares a group of students to go to Florida to compete in culinary arts. And the advent of the Conch Festival, which we've held for a number of years, pre-COVID, and now we're looking to bring that back. Conch is one of the local seafood dish. So when you attend Conch Festival, you would have it prepared any way you want it or any way you like it at the Conch Festival. So we encourage people to experience these cultural initiatives, and where you can see, taste, and have the vibe of the culture of Turks and Caicos.
Perfect. So, one of our recommendations for your clients, having their travel days be in line with them being there on a Thursday night. So they can definitely take advantage of that local island fish fry that Stacy was speaking about. Sometimes they're staying at all-inclusive resorts and they may not get kind of that experience to mingle with local restaurants and local facilities like that. So definitely recommend you check it out. And as Stacy had already set up before the slide, she's already mentioned that we're going to be doubling. I think the island's going to be about doubling the number of hotel accommodation, or number of rooms, sorry, the number of rooms available to your guests, based on these new upcoming resorts that were just launched this year, coming up next year as well. So really excited for that. And like Stacy mentioned, though, it's going to be a little more competitive with tours. You're going to want to definitely pre-book those tours that your clients want to do, just to make sure there's availability, because this island is just going quite heavily popular right now, as you can see, and all the development happening. So something to consider. And then one of the unique items here, one of the unique things to do in addition to the weekly fish fry and all the different events in the area, is being able to catch your fish and then have a nearby restaurant cook it. So I'm going to let Peter speak to this one, since his crew is the one filleting the fish that your guests catch. So
Thanks,
really
Cassie.
cool experience.
Yeah, it's a great thing to do. So if you're on a morning charter, if you're just doing a half day morning charter and you catch some great fish, our captains and crew will clean it, fillet it, and pack it off in a nice insulated cooler. And they'll actually walk you right over to the restaurant right next door to us at Mango Reef, which is an absolutely delightful spot. It's right on the water. You get to watch the boats. It's in a shaded area, so it's a lovely shade. You get really authentic Caribbean Turks and Caicos food there, and the dishes are fantastic. And they'll actually cook up your fish at right there on the spot, and so you get to enjoy it right away. So the other restaurants there's pretty much all the restaurants on the island will do that for you. In particular, Hemingway's, Mr. Grouper's, the Coco Bistro. I don't know about Coco Bistro if they'll do it. Coco Bistro is a fantastic restaurant, needless to say, on their own. But you just have to make an arrangement with your resort, and they'll probably take care of you. They're very, very accommodating on the island with everybody, actually. So, but just the restaurants are top notch on the island. There's a lot of them. There's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of new restaurants always opening up. There's some that I haven't even tried out yet, but there's some really, really good spots to eat, and so don't and they're all, there's a lot of them within the Grace Bay area, which is makes it very, very convenient because a lot of things are just within walking distance from most resorts. Same as the fish fry. The fish fry is really within walking distance. A lot of the resorts, very central. And but yeah, our crew is happy to take care of you in terms of cleaning and filleting the fish, and there's no extra charge for that. All our Grand Slam charters crew are fantastic at that, and they know what they're doing. Um, Dinner options, the right on the other side of us is a restaurant called Shark Bite, and they'll also cook your fish if it's in the afternoon, and so you'll be well taken care of.
Stacey, do you have any restaurant recommendations to add, since you, of course, are the pro here?
Oh, my favorite is always Hemingway's. Mine is partial.
But I love all of them. The thing about Turks and Caicos is that every meal is a dining experience, no matter where you go. So you can go from the little place on the side of the road, Pork Shack, Turks Kebab. Then there is Crackpot Kitchen, when you want those authentic local cuisine, to the five-star restaurant at Grace Bay Club or the Palms, and everything in between. So I'm one of those persons who are definitely a foodie,
Yeah.
and love all of that. So when we talk about culinary and Turks and Caicos, I would dub us one of the culinary capitals in the Caribbean, if not the world, because of the number of nationalities and amazing executive chefs that we have here in Turks and Caicos. So I love all of them for something different.
Wonderful.
I,
And it's nice to mention too, there's not too many all-inclusive resorts here. So a lot of the hotels, even if you're not a guest staying there, you can still go to their restaurants and eat at the facilities. So
That's correct.
it's
Mhm.
not super closed off. Yeah.
a lot of the what I noticed about this, and this is the first time I really noticed it on Providenciale, is when I started going there 25 years ago. Is it was one of the few spots I could find where I could rent some rooms, but it had a kitchen already and bathroom and living room area. So it's just, these are all condos that typically are in villa and condo rental programs. So if you contact all these resorts, usually the rooms that you can get are, have full kitchens in them. It all depends on the style of room that you want.
Oh, that's real convenient then. Yeah, especially for
Yeah,
families.
there's a
So
great grocery store right in Grace Bay area. And it's from the gourmet IGA to the Graceway IGA. You got two large grocery stores on island that carry everything that you can imagine. I mean,
Mhm.
uh, yeah, it's just they're very, very well stocked. Like when I was always shocked when I first came down to the island, I said, "Well, jeepers, they got everything here that I could possibly need." So there was no shortage
exactly.
of items that you could use. So
Not cheap,
all
not a
good.
cheap grocery store. Definitely gonna be a little sticker shock for those of us in the States, but
Yeah, but
definitely
Cassie,
convenient.
most of
That,
I'm
the
gonna disagree with you on that. Like
yeah,
there's some items that are more, but I don't know.
generally it's
Compared,
almost the same. Yeah,
almost the same
yeah,
as US. Okay, well, I stand corrected then. So
and
even
then you
you
better,
gotta.
find
even better.
You think,
you, you
I'm
find
used to
that
Canadian
most
prices already. So
yeah, you
Oh,
find
right,
that
you're Canadian dollars too.
you
it
find that
isn't just.
because most of the hotels have either a kitchenette or a full kitchen, many people would, and most of the resorts as well, would have breakfast included in
Right.
your stay. So you would find that people would go to the grocery store for their lunch items and then splurge on dinner. And
Right.
that's why you have these amazing dinner options to choose from. So I think persons have pretty much found their rhythm in Turks and Caicos, and
Mhm.
a lot of people are just riding the wave with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I think we've sold you on Turks and Caicos, but now we want to just reinforce Grand Slam charters in particular, because they are an award-winning company, and I'm going to let Peter speak to his company here.
Yeah, we're, how do I say that? We focus on safety and having fun. Okay, not every single time we catch fish, but we have the highest success rate of catching fish for our guests We've got expert crew and crew members. We include our shuttle service to all Grace Bay resorts back to the marina, Turtle Cove Marina. So we don't do beach pickups. We pick people up at the resort, drive them to the marina, give them a safety briefing, and off we go. We're 20 minutes outside of the marina before we get lines in the water, so we're very close to the fishing grounds. We have over 20 years of experience. We've been operating for many, many years. We've got lots of excellent reviews. We've got 4 beautiful boats, 2 of them specific for deep sea fishing, 2 of them specific for bottom fishing and snorkeling tours. We've got a great team lined up, all local fishermen. They've been fishing all their lives. They know what they're doing. They know the area. They know all the highlights of the island. They're fantastic tourist guys. Just got to check out our reviews and of Grand Slam fishing charters, and you'll see how other people really think of us. But yeah, it's just a great group. We try to have a lot of fun with our guests, and we include some great food and drinks on our trips: cold beverages, water, soda, light beer, canned mixed drinks. And then if you want something special, there's Turks tequila. We can arrange for that. We can arrange for hand-rolled Cuban cigars. We have snacks in the morning and afternoon charters. We can offer a gourmet lunch for 3/4 and full day options, catered lunch of wraps. And if you want to upgrade that to barbecued chicken, barbecued ribs, we're happy to do that. We also prior to getting on the boat, we take free photos of our guests and we email them immediately, so they have memories of their experiences. All the necessary equipment is included, so we try to make sure that your guests, all they have to do is be there in the morning, come with a positive attitude and some sunscreen and some sun protection, because it does get pretty fierce out on the boat if you're not covered. And we'll take care of them. We'll make sure that we take really good care of your guests and your clients.
Perfect. Yeah, I think the photo is really nice. I know a lot of companies will say, "Oh, it's free photos. It's a free photo shoot," and then you have to pay like an exorbitant amount per photo at the end. But these are truly all free. And these are not professional photographers. These are the captain mates taking photos, but they come out amazing, great photographers on there. And both candid shots and posed. So it's kind of hard to focus on reeling in a big one while, taking photos. So they kind of help you make those memories for your family. So, and for your clients. So just keep that in mind. And it's super easy to book with Grand Slam. There's no having to email back and forth, getting rates. It's all done online at gsfishing.com. Really easy booking engine, book direct. And they do offer 10% commission. And if there's any questions, we'll leave Peter's email behind just in case you had any questions that you wanted to ask. And Peter, if you had anything else to add here, let me know before we get into our Q&A session.
Yeah, no, just Grand Slam Charters is happy that you could all join us, and we really look forward to taking care of your clients on the island. But as Stacy knows, it's not just fishing on the island. It's there's so many great things to do on the island, and I just love it there. And I'm in Canada during the summer months, but in the winter, I'm down on that island. I want to get down there. It's beautiful, and this water is definitely that color. I can attest to that many times.
No Photoshop over here.
There's no photoshopping here. I mean, it's just a wonderful experience, and I really encourage you to consider Turks and Caicos Islands as a recommendation to your guests. And I can guarantee that we will take good care of them. We are safety conscious, and we look forward to hosting you.
Wonderful. Jen's been sending me some texts or sending me some Q&A, some questions that have been asked in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and ask them now. And Peter, you can just answer them. Okay. Sure. So the first question coming in, you already answered the Sand Dollar Cove question. You already got that one. So we're all set there. But is Provo close to Grand Turk?
No, it is not. It is with a short flight, but Grand Turk is not. It's quite a way. It's quite a bit more further east, and most of our boats, the boats tend not to go back and forth. There is no ferry service either, but
Okay.
there is a flight service going back and forth. But for typically for people, there are other charter companies on Grand Turk. Screaming Reels is over in Grand Turk, and there's a couple others I think too. But Screaming Reels I would recommend over on Grand Turk. Um, but
Oh,
we're
perfect.
on Providenciale, and so a short flight over.
Yeah. So just getting them there. Another question: when is prime whale watching season?
January through to April. It's just it really is amazing. You're out there on the water, and all of a sudden you see this whale popping up and just blowing off the geysers and getting some air, and then diving down. So it's really wonderful to watch them.
And totally not something you would expect from a tropic destination. It's something I think you would think of when you think of Alaska or Canada, even. So that's really funny that that's an option. And on the booking engine, I believe he already has the month set, so your clients won't be disappointed. I think you can only book for when they are in season, so no worries
Yeah.
there. Another question asked was, do you have resources for us to share on social? And I think we have that infogram we can certainly send to any travel agents that has kind of all the info on there. So,
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to go to our website, www.gsfishing.com. There's so much information on that website. So sometimes just navigating where it is, it might be a bit tricky, but it is there. There's and if you do sign up for information, you will automatically get a frequently asked question page, which tends to answer most of the questions that people ask.
yep, perfect. So, definitely check out their FAQ page. And then I will also leave behind Peter's email again as well, just so if you have any specific questions that weren't answered on this call, that you can ask him. Another question is, are there restrooms on the boats? And I know that's important when it's an 8-hour full day extravaganza.
Absolutely, and they're well appointed bathrooms on the boat, and it's not just a bucket on. Gladly, it
On
is
all
a
four of the
full
vessels,
bathroom.
correct? So all of the boats have them.
All four of the vessels have a proper toilet aboard and hand washing sink, so you're well taken care of.
Wonderful. Next question is the Shore Club near Grace Bay Beach? They have a group. One of the travel agents here has a group booked with them. So I think they're trying to locate the transfer information because we know you do free transfers from Grace Bay. So would that be
Yeah, we
considered a
do.
Grace Bay hotel?
No, it would not be. It's on the south side of the island. We would charge a little bit extra for that. I think it would be an extra $50 charge for a shuttle service, and that's back and forth. So it's very reasonably priced. Short Club actually has because it's part of the Heartland Group. They have a resort on the south side, which is the Shore Club, and they also have two resorts on the north side of the island on Grace Bay Beach, which is the Sands and the Palms. They do offer free shuttle service between the resorts. So if you're staying at one resort, they'll shuttle you over for free to another resort. If on a particular day it's a little too windy on one side of the island versus the other, because on the south side that's where it tends to get a little windier, but not too windy. You can always they'll transfer you over to the Sands or the Palms, and you can utilize the services there for absolutely free. Then they offer a free shuttle service there.
Perfect. The next question probably could be answered by you or Stacy. It says, is the island large and how many people live there? I don't know if that's
So
question
the
you know off the
island
top of
is
your head.
about 21 by 3.5 miles length and width. And we have the last census told us that we have about 50,000 residents in the entire Turks and Caicos Islands. Now, Providenciales is the most populated, and then you go into Grand Turk, North, Middle Caicos, South Caicos, and then Salt Key.
Perfect. I hope that answered your question. Well said, Stacy. Thank you for that. And then the next question is on currency, and I think Stacy may have mentioned it before. They accept US dollars, correct? Or will they need
Correct.
to transfer
That's
their
correct.
change? Okay, so US
Can I
currency is accepted.
can I interject there, Cassie?
Yeah,
And
please.
the local banks on the island. Okay, you have the Turks and Caicos Bank, but there's 3 banks on the island, and they're all Canadian banks. Yay!
Yay, good. Love that for you.
CIBC, Scotiabank, and the Royal Bank of Canada. They're all great banks. I can tell you they're the best banks in the world. But also going back to the one agent that was asking about population, and I want to just add to Stacy's comment. Okay, although Providenciality is the most populated island, okay, when you get on the beach, it's not crowded at all. There's so much space on that beach. It's you can walk forever and not and you're not crowded at all.
Good, good, good. So that's helpful. And that concludes all of our questions. I'll give people another minute or so to ask anything that they're itching to ask. And then if we don't get any more, we'll go ahead and announce our winner of the gift card.
Excellent. One little other comment that I wanted to add. One of the attractions for me when I first came down to the island, and what I loved was that was different than other Caribbean destinations, is that I could relax on the beach and I wouldn't be harassed by
vendors.
Well, particular vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great I don't mind being approached and say, hey, you want to do some parasailing or things like that. Most of the resorts have a tour desk right near the beach, and they can arrange any trip that you want on the water. We have we're most of the tour operators know about us, Grand Slam Charters, so we hope that if your guests do ask for a fishing charter, they ask for us by name, Grand Slam Charters. And we appreciate you joining in, and I'll let Cassie take it from here.
Perfect. Real quick, Sheila wants me to go back to the slide with the 7 luxury hotels. So let me just pull that up real quick. I don't know if she wants to make a screenshot of it, which is totally fine. Here we go. So for anyone wanting to take a screenshot of that real quick, and I can send this PDF out as well, so you guys have it for your records. So no worries there. I don't know when the Kempinski is coming live. Maybe Stacy has details on that one. I just have TBD is all I can find.
Yeah, they're supposed to break ground in the next couple of months,
Okay.
and then they're supposed to be 2 years out for construction. So we'll see.
Okay, maybe 2027, if not 2028. So
Yeah, and then the
very
St. Regis
exciting.
is not there, so we need to note that the St. Regis should be opening in Q1 of next year.
Oh, the St. Regis. I forgot one. Okay. Oops. Well, there you go. And don't forget that as well. And we'll be sending the recording out as well for you. So you guys will have that.
Stacy was just at Salterra, so we know that's open now.
No, she just got back literally today. She's like, I don't know if I'll make it. I'm up to the airline being on time. So we're so happy that she's able to join us and give her her info there. Okay. And again, this was recorded, so we'll send out the recording. Thank you guys again. We do have a winner, so we'll go ahead and drum roll that for our $200 gift card winner. It is Jackie Izzo. So congrats to Jackie. I'm going to be in touch via email right after this call to go ahead and send you that e-gift card. It's just $200 that you can use anywhere that Visa is accepted. So thank you guys so much again. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Stacy. Really appreciate it. And we will give you 15 minutes back in each of your days. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I really look forward to seeing you all.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.